Hello, happy Friday. If you are watching this, it is Friday, September 11th, and you are wondering what to do for humanities today. So here is what you're going to do. If you are in the gold cohort, you guys should be working on HCAP for this week, so you can see it right there on the calendar, and it's linked there for you. Hold on to that doc. Next week, you'll share everything with us, and we'll check in on your progress. But for now, you can just keep it in your HCAP Google Drive folder. But my red cohort, you guys are going to complete the Furthest Back American Names and Identity document today. So it is linked here for you, and I also linked the assignment submission spot right there as well. So when you're done, you can come back to the calendar or you can go to assignments to get to it. But if we go ahead and click on this document, this is what you will see. So at the top here, you will see how all of this connects back to Reconstruction and what you're talking about in history class. So it says, consider the dignity and respect that a name provides as a sign of individual identity and personhood. If we have control over our names, we have control over one of the most basic representations of our identity in society. Freed people, or former slaves, adopted their surnames from a variety of places and people. By observing our names, we often learn about the values, traditions, and aspirations of our ancestors. By observing your surname, you will reflect on the ways your ancestors chose to identify themselves and the ways in which we all place ourselves into the world. So the first part of this document asks you to consider what your name means to you, right? It's a big part of our identities, and it's a part of our identity we've kind of jumped over the last couple of weeks. So the first question asks, what is the relationship between our name and our identity? Think about the relationship you have with your name, right? How much of yourself is dependent on your name? I told our class yesterday that for me, my name being Shannon is a huge part of who I am, right? And even if I changed one letter and my name was Sharon instead of Shannon, I would think about myself in a completely different way. Think about your last name too, right? What does that tell people about yourself? What can we assume about other people by looking at their last names? So consider that connection between your name and your identity. Would you be the same person if you had a different name? Would others see you in the same way? And how do you think your name helps you to find a place in the world? And I'm most interested to hear an answer to this question. And if you're not quite sure, once we're done reading the poem, you might have a better sense of what that question means. But that's what I want to know. How does your name place you in the world? How are you able to kind of find your spot in the world with your name? And the second question says, do you know what your surname or your last name means? And if you don't, open up a new tab right now, go to a Google search and look it up, right? What do you find? What does it mean? Where does it come from? I looked my name up yesterday and discovered that it is German, like I knew it was, but it turns out it's from a specific region, and I hadn't known that before. And I learned something new, so you need to look it up too. How do you think the answers and information that you're going to get from your interview are going to help you place yourself and your family in the world? So maybe once you look it up and you find something you didn't know, that could be something you ask in your interview this weekend, right? Is, hey, why is our name this, right? Did it get changed? Who changed it? Has it been this way for a while? Where are we from? There are a lot of great answers that could come from that question. So that is number 2. Give me a couple of sentences for each of these, at least 2. If you write more than 3, that's fine, because you might have a lot to say, right? Your name is kind of a personal subject, and you might have a longer response for those questions. Down here for part 2, you need to read and annotate this poem. You need to use 5 context codes. I've already used one for you. If you forget what they are, I linked the PowerPoint here for you so you can refresh your memory. But I also just did like a quick refresher over here on the side, so what the different codes are and what they mean, okay? So I've given one for you, but you need to do 4 more of these on your own. So let's see what we have. I'll read the poem out loud. So as I read, feel free to make changes in your own document and to annotate. I would say you need 5. I've done one for you, so you need 4 more. I would choose question. I think you guys are really great at asking questions, and then it happens naturally. I would make a connection. You can easily connect what you're reading to yourself in your own life. You can easily summarize this poem. And you will find words that you don't know that you can define. So those are the 4 codes that I would stick with if I were you. But you're free to travel outside those 4. The only one you can't repeat is prediction, because I did that one for you already. So here we go. In this poem, Jonathan Rodriguez reflects on his name. How does his name place him in the world? How is it a mask, a shield, or container? You can connect, see what I did there? Your findings in your annotations. Here we go. 2 names, 2 worlds. Hi, I'm John. Nope, Jonathan. Wait, Jonathan Rodriguez. Hold on. Jonathan Rodriguez. My name, 2 names, 2 worlds. The duality of my identity like 2 sides of the same coin. With 2 worlds, there should be plenty of room, but where do I fit? Where can I sit? Is this seat taken, or is that seat taken? There never is quite enough room, is there? 2 names, 2 worlds. Where do I come from? Born in the Washington Heights of New York City, but raised in good old Connecticut, the smell of freshly mowed grass, autumn leaves, sancocho, rice and beans, the sound from Billy Joel's piano keys, and the rhythm from Juan Luis Guerra. I'm from the struggle for broken dreams, of false promises, of houses with white picket fences, of 2.5 kids. The mountains and Campos de la República Dominicana and the mango trees. I'm not the typical kid from suburbia, nor am I a smooth Latin cat. My head's in the clouds, my nose is in a comic book. I get lost in the stories and art. I'm kind of awkward, so talking to the ladies is hard. I listen to Fernando Villalona and Aventura every chance I get, but don't make me dance merengue, bachata, or salsa. I don't know the steps. I've learned throughout these past years, I am a mix of cultures, a mix of races, una raza encendida, negra, blanca y taína. You can find me in the parts of a song, in una canción. You can feel my African roots in La Tambora. My taíno screams in La Guira, and the melodies of the lyrics are a reminder of my beautiful Spanish heritage. I am African, Taíno, and Spanish. A fanboy, an athlete, a nerd, a student, an introvert. I'm proud to say, yo soy dominicano. I'm proud to say, I am me. I am beginning to appreciate that I am una bella mezcla. I am beginning to see that this world is also a beautiful mix of people, ideas, and stories. Is this seat taken? Or is that seat taken? Join me and take a seat. Here, we'll write our own stories. So there you go. I'll kind of help you get started with these annotations. Start to think about what this 2 names, 2 worlds title could represent, right? Jonathan Rodriguez are those 2 names. What are those 2 worlds that he's talking about? I think that part right there would be a great place to make a summary. What this poem was about, what he was getting at. When you made your annotations, you can scroll down and you can remix the poem. So I've taken some spots out, so all you need to do is fill in the blanks with the words that apply to you, right? Your name, your culture, what you like to do, your hobbies, that sort of thing, okay? It's not the whole poem. I shortened it up a little bit, and I included like the greatest hits, basically, of the poem, okay? Here is, if you scroll down a little bit more, my poem. I gave you an example, okay? So you can kind of understand how you can apply it to yourself. So I wrote, hi, I'm Shan. No, Shannon. 2 names, 2 worlds. Where do I come from? Born in Barrington, but raised in good old Mundaline. The smell of chlorine, dog hair, grass, and burning cookies. The sound from the neighborhood pool and the rhythm from Joey's garage band. I'm from the struggle for fitting in, of speaking too loud or not enough, of houses with freshly manicured lawns, and 2 kids. I'm not the typical kid from suburbia, nor am I a dancing Irish lass. My head's in the clouds, my nose is in the next Hank Green book. I get lost in the stories and art. I'm kind of funny, so talking is an art. I listen to alt-rock and the Beatles every chance I get, but don't make me dance ever or at all. I don't know the steps. I'm an Irish, German, and Croatian. I'm a reader, an author, a musician, a thespian, an artist. I'm beginning to see that this world is also a beautiful mix of people, ideas, and friendships. Is this seat taken or is that seat taken? Join me and take a seat. Here, we'll forge our own futures. So if you get stuck, Look at my example, scroll up again, check out what was happening in the poem, and you'll figure out what's supposed to go in those blanks. But apply it to you in your life. If you have to steal some of my examples, you can, right? And they might apply to you anyway, but just make sure that your poem is original to you. That's what I'm interested in. I don't need to read a poem that's just my poem applied to your identity. I want to read about you, okay? So that is what you'll do. So once you're done filling in the blanks in your poem, you will submit this document to Canvas, and you will be all set. So just a reminder to check in with the person you want to interview. If you haven't interviewed yet, make sure that you interview them this weekend and you come to school next week, Monday and Tuesday, with that information so that you'll be able to write about it, okay? That is all I've got. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Godspeed. Have a great weekend.